Introduce our speaker, and it's Candy DeClark. So let's give her a warm welcome to give us about the time.
I like this venue. This is nice. First of all, wave to the camera. My grandson called me and said, "Grandma, I saw you on YouTube." I said, "I've never been on YouTube." He said, "No, you were." And I said, "What was I talking about?" And he said, "You were giving a speech about real estate." And I said, "Did I say anything embarrassing?" He said, "Well, you talked about Princess." You guys been here before? You know who Princess is? That's my daughter. But, so anyway, people actually watch YouTube, and I try not to say anything embarrassing. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a tax partner with Clark Schaefer Hackett & Company. I spent 6 years with the IRS, and Bill Schaefer got tired of me auditing his clients, so he hired me to work on his side. I've been with Clark Schaefer 40 years, so I'm an old timer. And I do nothing but IRS representation, tax compliance, strategy planning, things of that nature. I believe in I'm real laid back, so I don't have a PowerPoint. By the way, did you get those pretty sheets? Yes. Okay, we're not going to use them. Well, I did a 4-hour presentation last week at the Dayton Area Board of Realtors. And it was for realtors, you know, real estate professionals, same as you guys. And I had 2 of my associates with me. It took 4 hours to go through those, and there's lots of really detailed examples. So I brought them. I thought in your leisure reading, if you have trouble going to sleep tonight, you could get them out and read them. But I wanted to be more 20,000 foot view, talk more about what's changed in the law, what's going on with the IRS, and I really like questions. Our time together will go much faster if you ask questions. So, yes? Okay. How many of you guys have ever heard me talk before? Most of you? Okay, good. You came back? First of all, an update on Princess. The prenup worked. She got divorced this past year, and he got very, very little. You remember, he was the one at the wedding reception told his friends, Ruthan's mom and dad are rich, 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 and when they die, we're going to be rich, rich, rich. I knew I had her sign a prenup for a reason. He lost his winning lottery ticket. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the IRS first, what's going on with the IRS, and then we're going to talk about the new tax law. Anybody gotten any ugly correspondence from the IRS lately? Okay. The IRS has several new programs going on. I wanted to talk about what's hot issues with them. Right now they've started another round of national research audits. So if you're not familiar what a national research audit is, if John gets audited, raise your hand, John. John's a financial planner, an estate planner. So if John gets audited under this national research program, the IRS is going to audit every line on his tax return. Every line. Everything down to, you know, the $25 that he gave to Goodwill. They're going to look at all of his bank records. They're going to make sure that he reported all of the proper deposits. The IRS also has software now that they can tell if you have a vintage car registered in California, an airplane hangared in Nevada, or a bank account in the state of Washington. They have really sophisticated software, and so it's virtually impossible if you have things in your name for you to hide it from the IRS. So John gets audited under the National Research Program. John's married, but he has no children. He represents about 5,000 financial planners in the big scheme of the IRS world. So if in auditing John, the IRS finds lots of errors, lots of mistakes, they're going to say, hey, financial planners are likely to make errors. They may draw a conclusion that because he's married, depending on the other financial planners that they audit, maybe married people make more mistakes than single